What's going on, everyone? So, we're heading into the playoffs, playing the Minnesota Timberwolves in the first round. But what I want to talk about in general in this video is just the overall team and breakdown of the team, right? Because I think that that's very important to kind of understand our strengths, our weaknesses, things like that. So, getting into the size factor, because that's the biggest elephant in the room, right? Lakers' lack of size or perceived lack of size. Lakers don't lack size at all. They're actually one of, if not the biggest teams in the league as far as just length, size, and versatility, particularly out on the perimeter. Where they lack the size is obviously on the interior side of things. But one of the Lakers' biggest advantages, and we'll use Minnesota as an example because they're our first round matchup, is Lakers have essentially 7 guys that are all 6'8", 6'9". I mean, you got Luka, right? You got LeBron James. You got Rui Hachimura, Jared Vanderbilt, Dorian Finney-Smith, Jackson Hayes, obviously. Then you have, if you really needed to, Markieff Morris, right? And then Austin Reeves, yeah, he's not 6'7", 6'8", 6'9", but he's 6'5", right? And so he can get after it. And Jordan Goodwin's 6'5" and plays much bigger and rebounds much bigger and is physical and can get after it, right? So you have this team that is just a big physical team. And that's where their strengths are. Their strengths are in that small ball lineup where you can just stretch teams out, force out the big. Minnesota, for example, Rudy Gobert is getting played off the court. They're not going to be able to finish games with Rudy Gobert on the court because the Lakers are going to make them pay every time. Lakers are just going to put him in the action every single time. Rudy Gobert, we saw what happened when Luka, every possession, just, switched onto Rudy Gobert and just cooked him possession after possession, even hit a game winner over him. Right? Because he can't do that. They're just going to put him constantly, in the action. Have him, have to defend in the pick and roll. Have him come out and defend out on the perimeter. They're going to torch them. But that's probably the plan against most of these teams, right? You play, a Clippers team. You're not going to match up against Ivica Zubac, right? He's a big boy who can go get you 20 and 20. And that's definitely a disadvantage that the Lakers have. That's definitely an issue that the Lakers have. How do you kind of counter that? You make Ivica Zubac have to step out and have to challenge you and defend you and have to have him defend somebody like a Rui Hachimura and whatnot, right? So the Lakers' advantage comes from their just overall size. Although they lack the interior size, it's really going to come down to effort, energy, and hustle, just rebounding the basketball, team efforts. And a lot of these guys have like 7 to 7'2" wingspans, right? So yeah, they're all 6'8", 6'9", but they all have long wingspans too. So it's just a lot of size that you have to power through, a lot of strength and physicality. But that also pivots and transitions into our three-point shooting. Team's been cooking from three-point range. Lakers have also been shooting a lot more threes since you got Luka. Why? Because you want to open it up and let Luka cook, and he's out there. And if you don't collapse, right? Easy kick out pass. If you do collapse, right, lob threat, right? You have so many different options. And then also, if you don't send the help defender, he's just going to cook and all that. But we'll touch on Luka, Reeves, and LeBron independently here in a moment, right? It's really going to boil down to Dorian Finney-Smith continuing his hot shooting, Rui Hachimura continuing his, 43% from three-point range, right? Even guys like Jordan Goodwin, who's shooting, 42, 43%, although smaller sample size, but can he be respectable in knocking down the three-point shot, right? Jared Vanderbilt's going to basically be your roll man and in the dunker spot, but he's a hustle, energy, effort guy, so he's going to have his impact in other ways. He's going to generate second chance opportunities, and you need to knock down the three ball. Luka, Reeves, LeBron, they need to be able to knock down the three ball. Gabe Vincent, all these guys. If the Lakers can shoot the basketball, then it puts teams in a position to where they have to choose. Do we hope that these guys start cooling down, or do we have to go out and challenge? And now that's where you have to bring out the Ivica Zubac or the Şengün or the Nikola Jokic or whomever, because it's like we can't. But if guys aren't hitting, if Rui's just chucking up clunkers, you just put Jokic on him and you just tell him hey, kind of keep the gap, right? But don't actually shoot it. Just kind of stay in that gap, in that pocket. And if he starts, knocking down threes, we'll figure it out and make that adjustment, right? So it's going to be up to the Lakers shooting to really keep teams and players honest. Because if you're not knocking down, and I'm not saying they have to shoot 70% from three-point range every game, but I'm saying like if you're not at a consistent level to where teams have to challenge and respect it, then that becomes a problem. I mean, I understand you could say that for pretty much every team, but Lakers, again, have been one of the more three-point heavy teams since Lucas came in. Now, the other side of things, right? Little kind of nuanced stuff, and then we'll jump into the Luka, Reeves, and LeBron. The little nuanced stuff is just we have seen, better way to phrase, right? We have seen the best version of this team. Nobody, Boston, Cleveland, OKC, I don't care. Tell Boston to go get prime Larry Bird and Kevin McHale and all that. Lakers are smoking them. The best version of this Lakers team we have seen, that team that smacked and blew out the Oklahoma City Thunder, right? Like the team that has beaten every top team in this league in pretty good controlled fashion, right? The team that brings the effort, energy, rebounding, hustle, all of those things on a nightly basis. That team is winning 16 games, without a doubt, right? But we've also seen a version of this team that takes possessions off and takes minutes off, and particularly come playoff time. You can kind of get away with that during the regular season. Lakers are going to need to play near perfect basketball on a regular basis if they're going to win a championship. Maybe not so much against Minnesota or Houston or something like that. But as you progress, and depending on the matchup and some of these top teams, right? Like if Lakers don't play near perfect basketball every single game against Boston, it's going to be a very quick series. If they don't play near perfect basketball against Cleveland, that could be a very quick series, right? Like Lakers have to be the version we know they can be, or at least close to it, right? Bad nights happen, bad sequences happen, right? Things like that. But you need this team to really kind of focus and buy in, particularly on the defensive side of things. And just, again, hustle plays, chasing down loose balls, sacrificing your body, doing the dirty work. The other nuanced side of things is the coaching staff, right? This coaching staff, I have incredible faith and belief in. The Lakers were a team that, with Darvin Ham, you always questioned it. And at times, Darvin Ham looked competent, right? Look at outcoach Taylor Jenkins, outcoach Steve Kerr even, right? But something that I talked about is his little box. As long as he could stay in his box, Darvin Ham was fine. Anytime he had to get out of that box, out of his comfort zone, had to start making real adjustments and changes other than little minor ones, started becoming too much. And he ran into Mike Malone and the Denver Nuggets twice, and he got out of his comfort zone, got out of that little box. He also didn't do himself any service or justice by bringing in any experience to the bench to help him navigate as a head coach. Because he wanted, hey, I'm ready. I can be the guy. I don't need that. JJ Redick came in open-minded, open arms, open everything. And he's just been a sponge all year. And we've seen JJ, literally, we've seen it in regular season games where like in the first 5 minutes, they have a clear plan. That's not working. He calls a timeout and they have a completely different plan. And now JJ Redick's going to have, a week to prepare for these teams. And you don't think that this team's not going to be prepared? Absolutely. Our coaching staff is probably one of our, if not our biggest strengths. The preparation, how good, like the 2020 team. One of the things that made that team so special outside of the team itself was the coaching staff. Frank Vogel, Lionel Hollins, Jason Kidd, right? Phil Handy, right? Like you just go down the list of that team. They had everything they needed, right? And now you look at this team and it's like, JJ Redick, Scott Brooks, Lindsey Harding, St. Jean, right? Nate McMillan, right? You have these guys that are coming in that have all this experience and can do all these different things. Like it's great to see from this team. And so I think that that's another big strength. And then obviously our three main guys, Luka, LeBron, Austin Reeves. Lakers will, without a doubt, have the three best guys collectively on the court every night. All right? Outside of SGA or Jokic, the Lakers are probably not playing a team that has anyone as good or even close to Luka. And what team has a number 2 anywhere close to LeBron James? And then you go down to the thirds. The way that Austin Reeves has played this last 2 months, 3 months, whatever, what team has a third that is giving you on a nightly basis what Austin Reeves is giving you, right? Pajemski, yeah, he's had 30-point games here and there, random games, and hit big shots and had big moments. Not doing it on a nightly basis like Austin Reeves. Our biggest advantage is Luka, LeBron James, and Austin Reeves. You have 2 of the greatest playoff performers ever in the history of the league, not just for modern times, in the entire history. 2 guys that have done more with less that we've seen. Luka just did it last playoffs runs in the NBA final. And then you have Austin Reeves, who is a major advantage, major mismatch for teams, and is going to be seeing the third best defender every night. Those 3 are huge. Luka and LeBron, if they're transcending as we know they can be, and Austin Reeves is great, nobody beats this Lakers team in a 7-game series. Nobody. Those 3 guys alone will probably generate enough offense for you to just run and steam throw the West. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. Pass a question to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? Feel what are your thoughts? Do you agree with me? Disagree with me? Kind of mix in the middle. However you feel, whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear it out of the way. So let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot as we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.